Hey everyone, welcome back to program Ziyam. In today's video we are going to learn about variables and data types in C Sharp. This is one of the most important topics in programming because almost every program you build will use variables. If you understand variables and data types properly, learning topics like conditions, loops, functions, and object oriented programming will become much easier. So let's jump right into it. First, exactly what is a variable? A variable is a simply a container used to store data. That think of it like a labeled box. You can put something inside the box, give the box a name, and later use that name whenever you need the information stored about it. For example, if I'm in a store or anywhere like in a shopping or I'm shopping somewhere, so there are proper labeling for every product we choose, and that product is also like in today's video we will going to be I will be saying all the kind of stuffs about that. So it would be fun, and let's do it because and let me tell you another thing as well, and it would be like a little bit boring, but hang on tight. Okay, so now I have this all of my C sharp program file. Now let's go and add that int is equals age 25 and semicolons. Okay, so this is our variables. Okay, this is our variable, and now let me break down it to you. So the int is like, let's say, what's int and why it is important in this program. The word is int is the data type. It tells C sharp that we are storing a whole number. The word age is a variable name. This is a label where we are giving to our box. The equal sign assigns a value to the variable, and the 25 is the value being stored. So if I run this program, it would be giving me this, like if I won't be asked that what's your age or what is your this and that, and it would be simply give me this thing like int age is equals 25 semicolons. Okay, so it would be give me something like let me go and let's say it would be give me that age 25. Okay, 25, so it would be simply give me this thing, but I want it to do something like, let's say, console dot write line. Okay, my age is dash. So here it ends, and now we will take the plus sign and age, then semicolons, and that's it. That's our code for today. Okay, so now we have understand the basics of int and variables. Now let's run it. Okay, so this might be a little bit or just a one liner code, but it's really important for you to get understand, to get used to these things. Okay, now for example, if I am saying that int 25 is equal this and that, and let's type something else, console dot write line. Okay, and I will just simply add age, my variable, and same as the python we have, I have told you in python as well, so this is also goes for the python as well. Okay, now the advantage is that if you ever want to change the value from 25 to 30, you only have to update it in one place because it would store the whole data in it. I'm not telling that you store the whole database in this one variable. It would store a certain and a very basic data in the variables. Okay, now that we have understand variables, now let's talk about data types. Whenever you create a variable in C sharp, needs to know what kind of data the variable will store. Different types of data require different types data types. Different types of data require different data types. Let's start with the most common one. The first data type is int, and an int stores the whole number without decimal points. And I know you guys would know that what's decimal. For example, if I give it this, like, let me just to do it, let's go with this. This is where our, okay, now let me tell you and most important thing as well. This is our forward slash, and we need to do this because for the comment in C sharp. Okay, so I will type that this is my data type. Okay, so do you got me right? And let me type that int, let's do it, int age is equals, I would say 25. Let's say not 25. Okay, semicolon. And I would say int score. I'm creating the variable now, so I would say 100 and just close it. And then I would say int students is equals 30, and that's it. And let's type in like, okay, so let me explain it this a bit for you now. You should use int whenever you are working with counting numbers or any whole value. Next, we have double numbers. Okay, but first, let's trick our system. Like for now, let's do this, and my system would suggest me that what to write, what to not write, and simply that's it. That's my whole code. Okay, so this is where my whole things gets messy up because I have done, and okay, let's do the next thing. Okay, next we have double. A double stores number with decimal values. Now let's do it in double. Same comment. This is my double store stores with decimal points. Got it? Now this is the whole thing. Now I will just simply write that double. Wait, let me just correct it real fast. And the double price is equals to 0.99 hash. Then I would say double height 1.75. Let's say 1.85. It's possible. Now let's add a temperature. Let's add 36.5 and semicolon. Okay, that's it. That's our whole thing. Okay, whenever you need decimal values, double is usually a good choice. Next is string. Now let me just close it right up because it wouldn't show me this thing, like where the error is or anything like that. Just simply, okay. Well, see, this is where our system gets trickier. And that's it. That's like, I think it's listening our conversation would be what I'm telling you is my string. Okay. So a string stores text, for example. Let's get into it. Name is equal Ziyam, and I don't think so. Wait, I did it the wrong way. Ziyam, and just wrap it up. String city. Same goes for anything you want to do. Let's say I'm from Peshawar. Let's drop into shower. Okay, and then let's add string message is equals hello world, hello world, console write name, and then let's say city, and the last thing we would do is console write message. So now what's going in this thing? Aja. So in this thing, what's going on is that first we have asked the string to display our name, which is Ziyam. Then we told it to do what's our city we live in, and it's told me that it's Peshawar. Then I added a message to it, and it's told me that hello world, hello world. So and after that, I have just simply wrote this, and it's done. Nothing else. Okay. One very important thing to remember that is that strings must always be enclosed in a double quotation marks. If you write, let me give you an example. It would simply throw error, but I will say that example. Take it. String name is equals to Ziyam. Okay. So obviously, it would give me an error. And C sharp will think Ziyam is a variable name instead of text, which will cause an error. So let's not do it, and let's do it in the correct way. Simply add a double quotation. And that's it. We are good to go. That's it. Okay. Next we have. Okay. Let me just redo it again, and let me just add it for you guys. Let's say correct and string name, and that's it. It gave me. Okay. Next we have bool. A bool can only store two values, true or false. Just for example, I would give you an example of boards. In Pakistan it's very common, and everyone might know that what's boards. So you have an MCQs. You have to mark A and B and C. So you got only three or four options, and you got to select one of it. So same goes in here, but we got only two in the booleans. We call it boolean as well. Okay, now let me just do it that bool. Simple. I would say bool is student true. Bool is logged in false. Bool has license equals true. Simply you only has these two options you can put, just like say, and we can also use if else statement, and in the following or in the coming videos I'm going to explain that as well. So let's go and let's say is student and just close it with semicolon, and let's go on with this too as well. So our code for here is, let me just, okay, I think you might see it because I don't see it. Okay, so this is where our boolean gets involved. It's only in the true false, and we can use it if like boolean values are extremely useful when making a decision in programs. Next is char. Okay, a char stores a single character. For example, let's say char, let's say char, and let's say char grade is equals A. Okay, and that's it. Let me just, yeah, and char symbol is equals at the rate, and that's it. That's our one thing. Okay, notice that char values use single quotation marks. This is correct. Yeah, char use single quotation instead of dual quotation. It only uses a single quotation. But this is wrong. Char grade, like for example, let's do it the correct way. Char grade is equals and double quotation marks, and this is the incorrect syntax. See, it shows us the incorrect thing. Okay, let's back it up real quick, and let it leave it for now. This is wrong. Okay, now let's think. Okay, next we have long. A long stores where large and whole numbers have like begin their work. For example, let's add that this is long. So let's see long, and let's say population is equals 7, no, 7240000. Here it is. Now the distance is also like really high. Okay, whenever an integer isn't large enough, you can use long instead. Another useful data type is decimal. Okay, decimal is commonly used for financial calculation because it provides a better precision for many value. So yeah, for example, let me just write it right down here, and let's say decimal, decimal. I'll say decimal, decimal, price. Let's say salary, salary is equals, let's say 5000.50 m, and that's it. Now let's add another decimal which would be product price is equals 1999.999. So it would almost become 2000, and that's it for decimal. Notice that the letter m at the end of the value, this tells C sharp that the number is a decimal. Finally, we have float. Now this is the most awaiting part of this video, and I know you guys are a little bit bored as well, but hold on, there's a lot more to go. And I will just simply say float height, and let's say 5 point let's say 6.1 f, and then, and now you can notice that the letter f at the end. Okay, now let's quickly review the most important data types. Integer for whole numbers, decimal for decimal numbers, and string for text. Okay, bool for true or false values, char for single character, and long for very large whole numbers, decimal for money and financial calculation, and float for smaller decimal values. Okay, in real world programs, you will mostly use integer, double, string, and boolean. Now let's see how these data types work together in a practical example. Suppose we are creating a program that stores information about a student. We can write is that, let's say, let me just simply write it. let me just go on the top and just simply do this, and we can't break it. Okay, now let's do it. String name is equals Ziyam, then my age is 16, so I would simply add 16, and then I would say double GPA, so that would be somewhere around 3.95 semicolon. Then I would call bool, that is my student a real student or not. So it would check our system and tell us that yes, it's true. If I'm an outsider and I don't know what's written in the code, so how would I know that is this student validated with this institution or not? So that's the thing. And let's do it. Oh, now let's display all the stuff on the screen. Okay, now let's see, and let me just simply go and accept it, because and in the future I might upload something about like the vibe coding as well. So let's say right line, and I would say name plus name. So that's our variable, and it would call our variable that hey, come on and just display the name. Right line, and I would say my age, and same goes for the age as well. So let me just simply do it this way, plus age, and just simply in every console write line and every print line you would need the semicolon. Console write GPA, console write bool, and that's it. Okay, now when we run the program, the output becomes name. Oh, okay, let's run it, and let me just copy these things somewhere, and let's remove it from here. Let's say using system, okay, class program, and I'm not using class for now, so nothing's gonna break. Okay, so let's run it and let's see what happens. Well, I got a lots of things right down here. Now it would just build my system and all the things, and after that it would display my results. All projects are up to date.
One hour later.
Let's wait for a while. Okay, so it has displayed my array detail. I gave it. See, as we have did. As you can see, we have stored the information in our variables and then displayed it. Now, suppose we want to change or we want to update the age, we can simply write that instead of 16, let's write 25. Okay, so again, all the stuff is same. Or let's do it in another thing. Let's say, let's do it this way. But and I believe this is a long video since I have been speaking for about half an hour, but hope so you guys aren't like bored enough. Let me just check real quick, and it's been 25 minutes. A fun fact, I wanted to wrap this video in just 12 minutes, and see, it's 25 minutes. and let's wait for it a
A
while.
few moments later.
Let's say A and is a student or not, and it told me that yes, he's a student. Okay, so the output, it will show us that I have told you, and it will show me 25. And now the value inside the variable has changed. The demonstration why variables are called variables. Their values can vary during the execution of a program. Before we finish, let's discuss some naming rules and best practices. A variable name should clearly describe what it stores. For example, in student age. These names are easy to understand. Okay. It's also recommended to use camel case in C sharp. Camel case means first word starts with a lowercase letter and every additional word starts with an uppercase letter. Examples included student age, first name, and is active, has license. This naming style is widely used in C sharp, professional C sharp development. Also, avoid using reserved C sharp keywords as variable names. For example, integer class is equals 10. This will produce an error because the class is a special keyword in C sharp. Now, let's finish by looking at a few common beginners request is using the wrong data type. For example, integer price is equals 999. This won't work because we have, let me just display it on my system right here. Like, let's say mistake. I would say mistakes. So, first mistake is that integer price is equals and 19.99. So the error will obviously it throw because it cannot convert to string and it's an integer variable. The correct version should be always in the double if you are doing something related to the let's say something related to finance or anything like that. Let's say this was the wrong thing and let's do it the correct way. Double price 2 is equals 19.99, and this is where it would work. Okay, now another common mistake is forgetting quotation marks around strings. For example, let me just give you an example. A string named Ziyam and semicolon without the double quotation marks, so it would obviously throw an error. Everything you should do is somewhere like this. You should always do it like this, as you can see, like this. And the third mistake is very unique. Like, I'm not saying it's unique, but it's very common. A third like using double quotes with a char values, as we have did in the previous part of the video. Let's say char grade is equals this a. So it would obviously throw an error because char is a single character only. Okay, and it should always be in this thing. Let me show you real quick. Hey, so here's the thing. That's our whole thing. Okay, now another common mistake using variable before creating it. For example, let's say console. I'm writing console dot write line, and let's say age, and just wrap it up. So it won't work because the integer variable is equals, like the we have put in this thing, like integer variable without a semicolon in C sharp will generate an error. Always remember to end statements with a semicolon. And that's it for today's session. on variables and data types in C Sharp. To summarize, variables are containers used to store information. Every variable has a data type, a name, and value. Different types are used for different kinds of information, such as numbers, text, characters, and true or false values. Understanding variables and data types is one of the most important foundations in the programming, so make sure you practice creating your own variables after this video. In the next session, we will learn about input and output in C Sharp, where we will create information from the user and display results on the screen. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone learning programming. Also, let me know in the comments which data type would you use to store a password. Thanks for watching.